Hey, Dr. Matt here. So, I want to talk about phones, smartphones. I've seen so many kids over the years who have a smartphone, who are completely disengaged with life, who have lost their real friends, who just hang out by themselves, dabble away on their phone, cannot speak to me, cannot interact with me as their doctor, cannot interact with people in general. Just in life, they've no understanding of asking questions, of being able to put out an answer, even make eye contact. So when we talk about accumulating health, we cannot overlook the fact that phone use is escalating through the roof, and our own homes sometimes are overwhelmed by phone use, which is why the Healthy Family Habit Challenge had a part that was, let's get these phones out, let's give some time away, let's fast these phones for a time each day. It's crazy that, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, thinking about taking some time where you're not have your phone on you nonstop, where you're not surfing the internet, on social media, texting, you're not doing that nonstop. That sounds, back then that'd be like, who would do that? And now it literally is the normal thing to do. In line at the grocery store, in your car, at a stoplight. Hope you're not doing that. At the game, walking somewhere, sit in the doctor's office, while the dentist, you name it, at the dinner table, breakfast, lunch, before bed, when you get up in the morning, it's just they're there. And so we've got to figure out a way to get them under control. Because I'm gonna run through some literature showing that, man, smartphones may not be the best thing for us. I think you might know that, but sometimes we need some hard data to say, okay, I need to figure out how to make smartphones less a part of my every second of everyday existence, especially if you have kids and you want your kids to excel in life and not end up depressed, anxious, social anxiety, feeling just like they're less than because they see all this craziness going online and what their friends are doing and all these kind of things, and yet their life doesn't match up with that. So cell phone use is consistently shown to be an addictive force, and sleep deprivation, anxiety, stress, depression, they all go up as cell phone use goes up. Funny, huh? Shocking. Not shocking at all. I see it all the time. So that was a 2016 study, and the inability to cut back on phone usage is crazy. Try to stop using your phones. Try to give yourself an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours where your phone just is not, it's up in a cupboard somewhere on airplane mode. Try it and see how that works. See how challenging that might be. As somebody who uses their phone nonstop like myself, I wish I didn't, and that's why I'm doing these challenges, to help myself not use them as much, to get off them and to get living in the now with the people that are right here, right now, in front of me. Because you know what? When we live with people right here, right now, that fills up our love tank. That fills up our well-being. That produces that, that I talk about oxytocin. That gives that reward response as well, and it rewards the people that we are living with, that we're in contact with right now as well. So if you ever notice that maybe like relationships are suffering, if you feel like you could feel kind of depressed or anxious if your phone is not within range, or you left it somewhere, maybe you went to a party and you forgot your phone, and the entire time you're thinking about, oh man, I gotta get my phone, I gotta get my phone, I gotta get my phone. Or you find yourself, first thing in the morning, grabbing your phone, flipping it open, and going through your emails, your text messages, your social media accounts, starting to surf the internet, looking for those pings, those little blue thumbs, that kind of stuff, those likes. There's a good chance that you're addicted to your phone. Or maybe you just go to your phone for boredom, or if you're feeling anxious, or you're feeling just kind of down, so you pick up your phone, start swiping. That is a strong sign that, yes, indeed, you are addicted to your phone. And we want to do something about it. We want to take action now before that addiction becomes full bore and there's no turning back. You can't see reality. You can't see any way out of not having your phone on you nonstop. So there's a 2017 study done on German students showing that that there's an impact on depression, anxiety. The more phone use, the more depression, the more anxiety. There's another study in 2012 on teenagers showing that as there was as cell phone use increased, as the usage increased, that depression, suicide risk factors, and suicide rate also went up. And guess what? Cell phone addiction, this is a 2017 study, is directly correlated with academic performance. So the more phone use, the more addicted to the phone they were, the less they perform academically. And I'll also say there's just one study that showed that basically they put all these students in a room, half of them had their phones in airplane mode, face down, sitting to their right. The other half didn't have their phones in, they're outside of the room. And guess what? The students who had their phones in the room upside down with airplane mode score like 25% less compared to the students who didn't have their phones in the room. And guess what? That's because our brain sees that thing over there and it knows that there's information, there's things happening in that phone, through that phone right there, and it can see it. And that actually draws our attention, that draws energy, that draws willpower, that draws cognitive capacity away from us to that object right there. And so it is a big, big deal. You know, if we have our phone sitting there at the table, at dinner kind of thing, literally we have energy that's being drawn to that phone as opposed to being drawn to our wife, to our husband, to our little kids, to the friends we're having over. That energy is being drawn there. So we're not going to be as creative. We're not going to be as thoughtful. We're not going to be able to hear with listening ears what others are saying. And, you know, our children are missing out because they're seeing that we think in our mind that that phone is that important. Like we are that on-call person that at any moment we could have to get into the Batmobile and get out and save the world. That is what it looks like from our children's point of view when we have that phone on us nonstop, looking at it nonstop, at the dinner table, at breakfast, at lunch, when we're holding our kids, when it's just there all the time. It seems like, wow, that must be a valuable tool. And do you want your kids to stop looking at their phones? Well, you've got to demonstrate to them that this tool isn't actually that valuable, that it isn't actually that big a deal, that yes, I indeed may have been overusing it, overcompensating by having it on us nonstop. And indeed, we are not so important that we must know everything going on in the world at any given moment so that we can respond, because we all know that we need to know what's going on in Antarctica, in South Africa, in Romania, in England, in Russia, in China, and in Hong Kong, in Japan, and in Brazil, as well as our local community at any given moment. We got to be on it, right? No, we don't. And we don't even want to be, because we want our well-being to be fantastic. We don't want to be dealing with depression, anxiety, lack of motivation, inability to make coherent thoughts, to respond in a cognitive manner that shows maybe we read a book at some point. Don't we want that? Don't we want to thrive in our minds and not be battling another thing? There's enough to battle in this world, right? There's enough toxicity around us if you don't even have a phone, let alone if you got one and now you're on it 24/7. So please consider it. Impatience is higher, and just general daily life disturbance is higher. This is a 2017 study in people who use their phone more. They feel disturbed in their day more often, which of course they would. Depression, another one showing depression and anxiousness are high. It's a 2016 study in those students who use their cell phones. As cell phone usage goes up, sleep deprivation also goes up. And these symptoms are both in men and women. It's not just girls, not just guys. It's across the board. The more the cell phone is used, the more depression, anxiety, lack of motivation, suicide risk, suicidal ideations, relationship decay goes up. I mean, these are all things that we don't want to be a part of. Not to mention literally just like the waste of time. I mean, can you think about it? All the 2 minutes, the 5 minutes, the 10 minutes, the 15 minutes, back and forth, just that waste of time and energy. And we talk about willpower and the fact that, a Twitter account, a Facebook account, an Instagram account, all these things coming at us all the time, us having to make all these micro decisions after micro decisions, how that this drains our willpower and makes us incapable of, making a decision we want to make about food, about exercise, about relationships, about sleep, about, what decision we should make related to, our home, our finances, our capacity to do what we want to do is just being licked away, wasted away by this constant going back to our phone, checking our phone, looking at our phone. So please ask yourself, how necessary is this thing? Is there not an hour? Is there not 2 hours in the day? Is there not 3 hours in the day where I could completely extract myself from the grip that is my smartphone or my laptop or my iPad and go enjoy life like people have enjoyed life for all of time up until the last 20 years. I bet you there's a way. In fact, it's really like the last 10 years. So emotional stability, chronic stress, depression, all are indicative of what? Phone use, cell phone use, smartphone use. If you want emotional instability, if you want depression, if you want to be chronically stressed, feeling worn out, feeling like there's not enough energy for the day, not enough time in the day, guess what? Use your phone. Use it like crazy. Be on it all the time. However, if you want your well-being to increase, if you want your cognitive capacity to increase, if you want your problem-solving capacity to increase, because you don't just go and Google or ask Siri every single time you don't know what it is right this very second, then put your phone away and go solve some problems. Go walk out in the world. Go talk to some people. Go instead of looking at your phone in the grocery line and say, "Hey, what's up, man? How's life? What are you up to?" "Wow, it's cool. You're buying bananas? I'm buying bananas." "Oh, cool, man. You're buying Lucky Charms? Man, why are you buying Lucky Charms? You don't need Lucky Charms. Dude, you should get some good meat or some eggs for your kiddos to eat at home." No, but build a relationship. Learn. Humans are amazing. And humans aren't just amazing online, on the internet. There's actual real humans next to you in line at the grocery store, in line at Starbucks, wherever else you're going, whether a coffee shop, your donut shop, at the auto dealership, at Costco, at Target. There's awesome humans actually inside your house. Like, you don't need to go out and search for them on your phone, on your Instagram or on Twitter or Facebook. There's actually real live amazing humans inside your house that you could connect with, that you could develop strong, vibrant, robust relationships that could last all the days of your life. Or you can make pseudo digital relationships that just come and go with a click, with a like, with a share, with a follow, with a friend. Man, not worth it. Not worth it at all. So also consider that, smartphones or these gadgets, they mess with our posture. They give us this forward head leaning, this rounded shoulder appearance, which, what's that do? That gets us neck pain. That gets us on medications. That gets us having cervical spine surgery later on in life. That causes our thoracic spine to be bent forward, makes us look like we don't have as much confidence, that we're not, we don't stand up straight. We don't have full lung capacity. And that is our health suffering as a direct correlation from this little phone, this little gadget. And then consider that increased phone use, as phone use increases, this is just terrible, but life satisfaction decreases. So the more we use our phone, I can vouch for this. The more I use my phone, the more I'm on Instagram, the more I'm on Twitter, the more I'm on Facebook, the more I'm like just surfing the internet for random things, the more I check my emails, the less life satisfaction I have. The less life satisfaction I have. And then research bears that out as well. That well-being goes down in direct correlation with the amount of smartphone use we have. So I have, there's a bunch of books on this, and check them out. Maybe they'll be enough to, get you to go, you know what? I got to get this locked in, because, man, I've seen so many kids, so many adults whose lives are just being devoured by the smartphone, devoured by social media. Their time, it's just gone, and their well-being is gone, and they're socially anxious. They're socially awkward in real life because all they know how to do is to text people, or like things and follow things and share things. They don't actually know how to speak their mind or articulate their thoughts, or they're just yelling at people behind a computer screen because to them, in reality, to their mind, it's not a real human being. They don't realize that that is flesh and blood on the other side, and you may not either. So give yourself a chance to thrive in life by taking a fast, giving yourself an hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours of zero cell phone use. I dare you to do it. Dare you. And if you do it, when you do it, please comment, let us know how it goes. If you're already doing that, I'd love to hear how it's going. I've yet to have a patient who gave up their phone for a season or a time during the day, did a little intermittent fasting with their phone, who did not love life more, enjoy life more, found new friends, found new relationships, saw the relationships they had blossom, their work blossom, found new creative outlets. I've not seen a single person where it didn't work out that way for them. And I just had a testimony about 3 months ago of a young guy who said, you know what, he'd been dealing with depression, a lot of just really intense mental, emotional issues. And you know what, he was like, I'm just going to give this sucker up. I would rather have my emotional well-being. I would rather have my life. I would rather feel good about life. I'd rather not just be inundated by these thoughts and this anxiety and this social anxiety and this depression. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to see what happens. And he gave up his social media, and literally within a couple of weeks, he was like, this is crazy. I feel so good. I'm not depressed anymore. I want to go running every day. I'm like doing these projects at home now that I couldn't get myself to do. I got the motivation I need. So it's totally there for you. I'm Dr. Matt, and please, let's fast. Fast your phone, give it a try, see what you think. Share this, like, subscribe, send it on to others who may need a kick in the pants, and to be reminded that, hey, these little gadgets aren't just little gadgets. These are powerful tools that are shaping our minds, shaping our life, and we need to get in control of them. All right, talk to you guys later.